Alright, I think it's important for us to look at our transition, how we reviewing, how we get into it, how we want to run it, all the above on both a make or a miss. Now remember, when the ball comes off, okay, let's say it comes off to this player right here. Our number one rule to start our transition offense is we have to rebound. If you don't rebound, you can't run it. It's easier to run it off a miss, but we can run it off a make. But there's three things that have to happen. We have to have the lanes filled in the following areas. Okay, you know we need a wing on each side. We need our big making a rim run, running right down the middle, and that creates the passing lanes for the guard to get the ball up the floor. It also creates spacing. If you think about a 3-on-2 break with two defenders back, which two of the three are they going to cover? It's going to create an opportunity for us to score in some form or fashion. Okay? So that's important for us to get to those spots. It's also important for us to remember that there is a difference between running the lane here and running the lane wide like we talk about out here. Okay? There is also a difference for our bigs, especially our 5-men, running right down the middle of the floor versus running in a lane that's kind of down the middle. Okay? If you think about it, running the lane here as a big man takes away our perimeter guy out here on the side. So it's important that that middle man is running down the middle of the floor. Okay? So as we get our positions running up the floor, we get our ball on our outlet in some form or fashion. As we're getting up the floor, our guard has to make our cut towards the ball to work its way up. Now, the first thing that's got to happen is we got to pass the ball up the floor. I don't care if it's passing it here, okay, or across court over here. We got to get the ball up the floor. If we can get the ball up the floor and we work it and we work our way up the floor, now we've got our big ball side. We've got our floor space. We flatten the defense out. Our guard is here. Our trailing post is here. Now we've got all kinds of options. We're straight into our offense. We can throw the skip pass and feed the post. We can reverse the ball and feed the post. We can go straight into our offense in a variety of ways. But as we're coming up the floor, again, as the ball is here, if you think about it, typically you're going to have one or two defenders back. Okay, let's say that we've got two defenders back. Neither one of them are our post player. If the ball is passed up and the defenders are forced to rotate, a lot of times we're going to get a mismatch that will also create the skip pass for a shot. Okay, lots of things can happen from that. But if you don't push the ball up the floor, those things don't happen. So let's look at some live situations. Here the shot goes up. We do a decent job of rebounding. I would like to see us make better contact. If you notice, we've got a pretty good screen out situation in this area, but over here, we need to go and make contact with this man right here. We need to go and make contact with our defenders here. Okay? That way, we create the seal and we're able to get the position. Okay? We do get the rebound. Now, if you notice, we're doing a pretty good job. We have a guard running this lane right here. We have John here, who could be running this lane. We have Brandon trying to get down the middle of the floor. Let's see if we get to those three positions. Okay? As the ball comes out, it's being dribbled. Looks like Jacob has it. Now, right here, Jacob, you go between your legs and you cross back over. If you notice, now we've spread out. We have a person over here. We have one of our bigs running this lane, and we have Alex out here, and then John is over here way on the left side over, or the right side of the floor way over here. But if you notice, because we don't have that proper spacing, both of these guys over here on this side of the floor, okay, neither one of them are an option, and one defender can guard both. That defeats our purpose. Okay? Now, right here, we pass the ball up the floor. Brandon, we need to, again, you should be running more down the middle of the floor, which creates space. Now, we do get the ball up the floor. We've passed one defender. What are we going to do with the ball in this situation? We don't really have an advantage. Jacob makes his cut, and we're right into our offense. We're not able to get into our transition because of our spacing. Now, the shot goes up. Let's watch our screen out, because remember, all transitions start with a screen out. There's two offensive players in a position to get an offensive rebound. We have one and we have two. How do we get those two screened out? Looks like we're in a zone right here, so ideally, if there's nobody backside, Alex, you've got to turn and read. You may have to come and screen this guy. You may have to be screening the guy that's over here behind you. Brandon, you should be going to this guy and screening him out to make sure he doesn't get it. Let's watch what happens. Alex, we don't screen anybody out. We kind of hope that the guy behind us runs into us. This guy that we talked about had a free run at the ball because of that. We've got to do a better job on that screen out. We do get the rebound. Looks like Connor gets it. Or Tyler, one of you two. Now we get the ball. Now right here, looks like Brandon's running down the middle of the floor, which is good. Jacob, I think, has the ball. Jacob should be looking to make this pass right here to Alex to get the ball up the floor. We make that pass. Alex, instead of coming back middle, I would have liked to see you push the ball up hard to the side. We would have had Brandon on a post-up right there. Brandon flares out a little bit. Now we're in a situation, because we've pushed the ball up the floor, there are only two defenders back. 1, 2. We're past the other three defenders. We've got a guy back here in the corner, so we have an opportunity to attack. Brandon attacks baseline, draws the defense. You can see all 5 defenders here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means on this penetration, if Brandon can power the ball up, chances are we're going to get fouled and go to the foul line. He can also kick it out. Who can then reverse it for the 3. It's good, simple ball movement. Okay, that's a good transition possession right there.